I think there's a lot of confusion between eternity and forever. I don't care really which one you call which, but there's two different things happening, and it's important, I believe, to be clear about what's what. I'm going to use the word eternity to refer to the profound and existential nowness of right now, this present moment, in all of its limited infinity. Of course, you are listening to this episode inside of a different one than the now that I'm recording in. Right now, I'm in a room we call the office. I'm speaking into a microphone. I'm recording my voice. Whoever you are listening to this recording, it's certainly a different now than the one I am recording in. Maybe. The eternal now that I am speaking of, the eternal now that I am speaking in, is the same eternal now that you are listening in. It's just that the universe has, in its continuously present movement, it's shifted, it's changed shape, it's become a slightly different thing than it was, but it's still the universe. The now of me recording and the now of you listening are both nows containing everything in the universe.
Eternity
happens outside of time.
Eternity
is a reference to what happens when you stop measuring, when you stop counting time and are simply being. Forever is something totally different. Forever only happens to humans. Only happens because humans create calendars to track time. Because we measure time, we plan with time, we make appointments, etc., etc. We know how to count, and so we do. But losing track of how you are counting time means you have left the eternal flow of time and now break up the flow to do this counting. Time is no longer a tool. Time's become the way you actually see things. It's kind of like you took some flowing, moving water from the ocean and used some of it to make a swimming pool, but now you mistake your swimming pool for the ocean. And that's what I want to talk about today. Hello and welcome to the 10 Crutches podcast. My name is David. I'm glad you're here. If you think about it, even for a minute, there's no way the planet Jupiter knows it's the year that we think it is. There's no way a frog knows that it's the year that we think it is, the year that we are, quote unquote, in right now. See what I mean by a swimming pool? We literally say we are in a year. Or maybe you'll say, I see you on Tuesday. On Tuesday, like Tuesday's a place you can stand on. It's not some particular year for a frog or a cloud or a rock or a baby. It's only for humans. We have to be taught these things. Humans invent years and months and days to keep track of the time. So while we are numbering the years, we are counting them because we are not content to just let the years revolve around and around like days or like months, always coming back to the same one. We want every moment to be uniquely countable. So we track the days in a month. It's not just Monday, it's Monday in a month. And that month is in a year. If we stopped calling the days Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, what if we started to number them? They would start to pile up really quickly. Hey, let's get together on day 148,957. Is that okay? Does that work for you? So we count the years instead. You only get to live 100 of them if you're lucky. So whichever number it was when it was the year you were born, it's not that burdensome to track. They move slowly enough for us to track, not like trying to count the days. But once you are counting, you can easily recognize that the numbers go on forever, infinity. There is no highest number. So why wouldn't the years, if you're counting them, why wouldn't the years go on forever? Well, for one thing, humans aren't going to be around that long to keep them going forever. The dinosaurs had a great run, 160 million years. We've only had about 3 million, depending on who's doing the counting, so we got a ways to go even to get that far. New Year's Eve, 159 million. So the kind of time that you keep track of course, it's going to go on and on and on, and of course it's going to seem like it'll go on forever because we've imagined the future, and we live in a now, but we, quote, look towards the future. We can imagine that we see things happening in that future. And we see no reason for this future to stop happening. So we think it's going to go on forever, which means that the years will just keep slowly increasing. Why wouldn't they just keep going towards all that infinity? I think this is why when people think about an afterlife, going to heaven, or just your soul going on into the village of the ancestors, whatever it is, there's some way of trying to escape the effects of forever, of wanting to continue the forever, of wanting to just keep counting the years, to keep counting the time going by and not having to die. What I think happens is that when you are focused on a future that goes on forever, and this forever means you're inside the swimming pool of human-created time, when you are focused there, you miss the eternity of the moment. It doesn't even occur to you to look for it. Of course, in a way, there's really nothing to look for. Eternity can only consist of what is already happening. But because of our orientation in the swimming pool of counting, we miss the ocean. We miss the fact that our little swimming pool is in the midst of a vast ocean. Rocks, plants, animals, whatever this thin film of life is covering our planet, even planets, even stars, it all arises. Everything arises and lives out a relative existence and then disappears. As people look toward the future, toward the time that is, quote unquote, coming, thinking that they can live forever or that they need to, this is just one variation of a way of living in the eternal present moment. You don't need to worry about forever because eternity is already all around you. The only way to have a forever is with a human mind. I'm sorry to mix in so many metaphors, but here we go. Bear with me. Imagine a future sandwich with slices of hours and days and months and years, and then you sprinkle the shredded cheese of infinity all over it, and then you put the whole sandwich under the broiler of forgetting that you and your species just made all this counting time stuff up. We invented it based on the experiences we had, or I don't know why we invented it, but we sit here by our little swimming pools, eating our forever sandwich, taking a bite and chewing on what we call forever, while eternity is all around us all the time. So to me, talking about forever means people have some sense of stepping outside of time, some sense of what that might mean. And why wouldn't we have a sense of stepping outside of time? Why wouldn't we have a sense of living in the eternal now? It's our existence. Forever is only in the human imagination. Eternity is where clouds and trees and rocks and planets and stars and humans and frogs and oceans and swimming pools and sandwiches all exist. The eternal now is the universe flowing as the universe all the time. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. please visit the home of the 10 Crutches podcast at 10crutches.link. That's 10crutches.link. The book that inspired the podcast, a book I wrote called 10 Crutches for Walking in the Present, is available for free download on the website. While you are there, please take advantage of 2 ways to contact me. You can send me an email, or you can make a voice recording. If you have a great question, I may be able to use it for the podcast. Also on the website, you can visit the archive to hear any published episode and see show notes for any and every show. Thanks so much for listening. And once again, thanks so much for listening. And I won't say it once again. See you next time.